Fitri's put her hand up at 5:15 and she's stretching out. It's looking really great. She's been coached by Claire from Malaysia. Feed her in, 5:20. Goggles up. Very strong surface protocol. She definitely had another fair amount there in the bag. That was super strong. As with all the other days, we've got 2 static opportunities per day. It's one of the MOs of GetEcstatic competitions. We kind of acknowledge that static is a little bit different to other disciplines. It's often harder to just judge things just right. Stress plays a bigger part, I think, than dynamics. As soon as you start kicking with dynamic, generally, that's a white card and she looks super happy. 5:20. Flow's heading to 6:30. Pat just placing a hand in the middle of his back, stop him rocking with the waves as the other competitor leaves the water. Enrico having a little nap. Enrico's the last person that would have a nap on the job. But yeah, you have to wait quite a long time before anything starts to happen with flow. "15 seconds to 8 minutes. A little bit of movement, just swaying in the current. I don't know if that's from Pat or from the beginnings of some contractions that are starting to break through a little bit. He's bringing a hand up, 8:45, 8:50. I'm not sure that's a great sign, to be honest, but again, not surprising after the breath holds he's done the last few days. He might decide to cut his losses to preserve some energy for later. It's 9 minutes. "9:30. 9:40. Feet are in now. I can see some movement in his neck. I think this was a no warm-up. That was the other thing, right? I don't think he did a warm-up for this one. Yesterday he did one warm-up and felt that it went better, so today he's trying no warm-up. Okay, that's 10. Okay. Yeah, he was definitely a bit hypoxic there. Waiting for the verdict. A little smile though. Probably not exactly what he was hoping for. Okay. I mean, not bad. That's a couple of 10-minute holds in a single competition. So we'll see what the time came in as. I think it may have been 9:59, but we'll hear from the judges in just a second. It was a white card. Definitely he was moving a lot earlier than normal. His hands were coming up before the 9-minute mark. So it's obviously a bit of discomfort. Sometimes playing with your facial equipment changes the sensations that you have. Wearing a mask covers some of those nerves a little bit better, so can help delay the dive response, which is obviously a good thing. But when you're doing an 11-minute breath hold or trying to do an 11-minute breath hold, sometimes having earlier sensations is less good, or a stronger dive response is less good. You want to prolong the relaxation period a bit. Now, Ben from France is moving into position.
Okay, so no step on. And started packing. Wow, 9:59 for Florian's dive, the white card. And 5:20 for Fitri. And another white card. It's a good start to the statics.
Not a bad start. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're on at 10:40?
I'm
No?
gonna DNS the first session again. I just because of the rain this morning, there was a huge traffic jam, and I live on the other side of Singapore.
Yeah.
Even though everywhere in Singapore is really only 30 minutes from each other, it took me more than an hour to get here.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of rushed and trying to set up the media station and stuff. So I just made an early decision. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, running the event and competing at the same time is quite an ask.
I'm not the organizer. Judy and Judith are just smashing that, but I'm
Yeah.
helping out where I can, and obviously the media is my baby. So
Yeah.
now we've got Tracy in lane C.
It's really interesting how long the kind of long static divers pack for, because sometimes it can be like, 30 seconds to a minute sometimes, can't it?
Yeah. So Flo has actually reduced his packing a lot, but he does big
Oh, has he?
packs. He's like optimized his packs so he gets big packs. There was a time I think he said he was doing 40 plus packs,
Yeah.
which is what I do.
And how long does it take you?
I get, I do, I do 40 up to 50 sometimes, 48 small packs, and it takes me about 25, 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, but that's going quite fast. He seems to take a bit shorter than that, about 20 seconds, and he does about 25 big packs. But you can see the camel hump he gets on his back. He's
Yeah.
not short of air, that's for sure. He also really tunes all of his breathing muscles, so his actual inhale is huge.
Yeah.
I rely on packing to
And even
inflate
when
myself.
when you've packed that much, the you're not kind of tensing to hold it in that sense, or do you find any discomfort? And
It was weird because I remember when I started packing, it felt absolutely terrible.
yeah,
It was when I was training with Flo for the first time, which was about 4 years ago, and he started teaching me to pack, and I remember getting to 8 packs and thinking, how can anyone take this? It's absolutely terrible. But no, now if I don't pack, everything feels terrible.
really,
I love the feeling of tightness,
yeah,
and it just feels like I'm fully charged and ready to go. And I know other people have described the sensation a bit like that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
How do
that
you?
comes with the stretching and the
I think the stretching is a big part, and a lot of static training is just stretching.
yeah, yeah.
Do you pack for your dynamic dives?
I do a few packs, but
Actually, I
again,
noticed it was a
I
few, right?
I find it quite uncomfortable. So I do very small ones. But I think I only really pack on competition dives, so I need to start introducing it to my training so I get a bit more flexibility and less discomfort on those.
Yeah. I
But
know, depending on how shallow the pool is that you're diving in, a lot of dynamic divers actually pack more. They'll pack to almost blackout
oh, really?
point for dynamics because as soon as you go a meter or meter and a half down, some of that pressure
It's
is
relieved, yeah.
yeah, relieved. Oh,
Although,
suddenly getting darker.
yeah,
No lightning, please.
although it does cool it down a bit. Yesterday, I did notice I was getting quite hot during the
Oh, really?
during the wait for the dive. Yeah, but again, that's coming from the UK, so
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm actually feeling very cold and wishing I brought my jacket.
so 3 minutes to Tracy's official top.
What's Ben's? I think Ben did a comp PB yesterday. He started with an 840, and I think yes, I'm just going to double check
It was
this, but I
just yeah,
think it
just
was
under 9 minutes.
just
I think, yeah,
857 or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A couple of seconds under 9 minutes.
And he's done 10 minutes in training. He cracked that
Oh, has he?
just. It was a big goal for him.
Yeah,
And he spent a couple of months training just before the World Championships. He didn't attend those, but then just made the most of trying to get the training PB. Oh wow. It's a shame we haven't got a moving camera today, but there's an enormous. Is it an oil refinery going past on a barge?
No, it's a mobile power station.
Oh, it's a mobile power station.
mobile power station. Wow.
Wow. Oh yeah, it has. You can see all the capacitors.
Like some emergency kind of things they go and then they connect them, they supply power.
Singapore's just such an amazing contrast of.
A big generator.
Rico, would you like to come and talk to us about the safety? We've just been talking about it. No? After. Okay. Rico will come and talk to us about the safety procedures and some of the training they've done.
Wow, it really is raining now, isn't it? How does something like the rain affect a static hold? Can it put you off, or can you kind of zone into it? Or
I find if it's raining lightly, it's really nice. It's kind of like a little massage on your back. It's
yeah,
very ambient sounds, kind of white noise. But when it gets harder, the effect of the wetsuit hood and the wetsuit on your back, it's almost like a drum and it gets very, very noisy.
really.
So this level of rain now, I think
This is going to affect.
perhaps just a little bit too much.
Yeah,
You see the water on the surface there. It looks beautiful from underneath.
it
but
does, doesn't it?
Now we're getting wind as well.
I was going to say, whenever I'm in the lake diving or in the sea diving, the rain's actually really nice. You see it when you're coming up, the patterns it makes on the surface. But with something as psychologically demanding as static, I can imagine the little things, it can go in two ways. Either it can help you zone out or,
And like anything in free diving, and especially in static, the more you experience certain conditions, the more normal it becomes and the more relaxed you are. And we don't stop when we're training. If it's raining, we just kind of get used to it. We're both packing now. Different packing styles. Look, Ben's got big slow packs and Tracy's packing fast. Tracy goes in. Tracy's got a 4:48 comp PB. She's been doing plenty of 5+s in training, but it's something, it's a discipline she struggles with, and has very varying levels of hypoxia.
The first kind of minute or two of statics are just the best feeling ever, isn't it?
Yeah,
That,
I
that
mean,
quiet.
that's essentially why I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's just the first 40%. It's really, have you ever been in one of those saline tanks?
I haven't
Sensory
actually.
deprivation tanks. Have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had those before?
No, have you done it?
Yeah, I've done it before, but I find static more
It,
relaxing
it,
than those.
okay, yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I really can't feel especially here where the water temperature and the air temperature are very similar. I
Yeah.
can't really feel where the water ends and the air starts, and
Yeah, yeah.
it feels like you're just floating in space, and your brain waves are all super slow because of the dive response. Just there's nothing quite like it. Anyone out there is not a static fan or is not a free diver, then I recommend you try just short holds, lots and lots of short holds. Most of our training is like that.
You're gonna convince me to
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you to the dark side.
But yeah, so 40% of your long holds are so even like the 9 minutes up to kind of like 4 minutes or 3 and a bit is
So
it's
about
comfortable.
80-90% of my training is between 50 to 60%
Okay.
of max. So like maybe 60 to 70% of max. So it's really just up to the point where discomfort, that kind of transition zone when you're just starting to have contractions.
Oh, really?
And it's just volume at that, just getting completely relaxed with those early contractions.
Yeah.
Because I know that in competition for a long hold, if I get through that transition period, I can see the finish line. So then I've got the motivation to continue.
Yeah.
I need to just stay as relaxed as possible for that point.
So that's where the athletes are at the moment. They're probably in the kind of comfortable stage, probably starting to feel that CO2 rise and the kind of warmth that comes with it, and in some ways the kind of fear of those contractions starting.
Yeah, we'll see. Tracy's extremely sensitive to CO2. She gets very, very early contractions. So I wouldn't be surprised. Can't see any right now.
I was going to say it's a shame with the rain because it affects the surface of the water, so you can't really see those little movements. Sometimes, depending on the size of the contractions, you can see a little ripple come out when they happen. Okay, 3:30. So yeah, if she's got the 4:48 max, then this is definitely the time where things start to amp up a bit.
Yeah, she's looking good, I would say. This
Yeah.
is really, really positive for Tracy. Really not seeing any big movements. Oh, I jinxed it. Okay, just bring her hands up. I think she can go for a minute.
For another minute.
I think she can.
Okay.
I can see a comp PB. Now, Tracy is absolutely brilliant at coming up at the point of hypoxia. And she's also very good at saving herself from a small samba. You know, in pretty much every dive, she'll come up just on the edge. And probably 80% of the time she'll save herself, and 20% of the time she'll dip before she saves herself. But unlike anyone else I've seen, she's really, really just knows where that limit is.
It's interesting because that auto awareness is a completely.
Hey, yeah, she's just passed her PB. Well done,
There we
Tracy.
go,
Come on,
feet
10
down.
seconds. Pete, this is up to you now through the good coaching. I'm really excited. Oh, I can see neck contractions. It's the beginning of a samba. Okay, she should come up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now the samba starts. Oh, stand up, stand up. Oh, I think she didn't dip. She rescued herself.
Yeah, you were right. Right on the edge.
I think that's it. I think that's going to be white. I think that's going to be a comp PB.
501.
Absolutely, she will be so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Been trying to break that 5-minute boundary for so long.
Big smile
Come
on
on,
the face.
judges, do the right thing.
Oh, there we go. White card.
Yes.
And that's a comp PB. And look at how happy she is.
Yeah, she is. That is a massive, massive thing. Pete, who was coaching her, is her regular training buddy. They basically train together all the time. They coach each other. They know each other super well. So he obviously just did exactly what she needed. I'm going to credit Pete for her success, but that's not the case. The amount of training that she does as well.
Okay. Better go get start getting ready for my dive.
Do it, do it.
Cool.
All right, cheers, bye.
See you later, Daryl. Good luck with your dynamics. And just switch views to the underwater cam. Ben is still looking very, very, very chill. I wouldn't be surprised if part of Florian's desire to get the 11-minute quickly is he knows that there's athletes like Ben who are not that far behind. And he was saying on the stream yesterday that with the new training techniques that have been learnt by the more experienced static apneists, the new guys are improving really, really quickly. That's not to say that there isn't a kind of a genetic or a physiological element to static, and Ben's very light, skinny guy, relatively tall, big lungs, so I mean that all goes in his favor, but the training really has changed a lot. That comp PB there, 7:55, that was before he came to Singapore. On the first day of competition, he managed to do an 8:40 something, and then yesterday was an 8:57. He's putting his hands up. Can hear Flo talking through this, trying to convince him to stay down. A lot of talking. Wish we had a mic in front of the judges, but looked like he was going to give up at about 8, but he's put his arms back down. Now Flo's signaling him to bring his arms up. 8:40, 20 seconds to 9. 8:45. Bringing his legs in. Can see some contractions now. 10 seconds to 9. He's going for a PB. And our progress bar at the bottom has run out of space. He's gone beyond 9 minutes. Legs back in. 9:10 and very steady, very controlled surface protocol. Surface protocol. Oh, Flo looks delighted. Ben looks happy. I think he knows he's done it. That was super, super. And you could see that he wanted to give up at 8. Flo just talked him into putting his arms back down. Come on, judges. What happened? Oh, we were saying that maybe he went in a bit late. I think he did. I think he went in a bit late. Look, it's still a comp PB. The yellow card will be a points deduction. It's not a national record because he's French. It's nearly impossible to get a national record in France. But that was nonetheless just a spectacular dive. Was he late in? Is that why he got a yellow? Yeah. Just over 10 seconds. Enrico confirming that. That's a crying shame, but still, I mean, he's doesn't really affect anything. Okay, Rico's coming. Sit down. I don't have a commentary cam because I'm going to use it for my warm up. We're using mobile phones for most of the cameras, so you cannot see Rico, but he's here. Rico, I've been talking a lot about the preparations that you put into that you put into getting safety team ready. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing over the last 6 weeks, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we had like 3 sessions in total, and we started with checking on some foundations and some basics to just get a rough idea where everyone kind of stands, what works well and what should be kind of improved. And we usually always split the sessions in 2 parts. We did like start with the statics part. So we went through some theory, went through some basics about what you should do or what you shouldn't do. Did some drills on that. So should do and shouldn't do, meaning how should you react if it's like an LMC, how should you react if it's a blackout. Of course, there are some differences there when it comes to competition diving or like competition safety or budding someone in kind of general. Yeah, went through some kind of what we would call like good practices and good habits about like, not putting in too much strength, that you don't need big strengths, big kind of like effort to turn someone or similar kind of things. Went through the whole procedure of what would happen if someone would kind of, if someone would have like a blackout, for example, like in terms of priorities, first get someone above the water and then make sure that the airways stay above the water, remove the facial equipment, go through the whole blow, tap, talk, or as we would kind of rather say, blow, talk, tap kind of procedure. Some small details, and then did some drills. Basically, everyone was observing everyone all the time, constantly giving feedback in terms of what looked good, what could look better. Everyone was also practicing amongst each other, different kind of groups. So it was also not in terms of visual kind of feedback, how things looked like, but also how they felt like as you would have been rescued or saved. Like if you had a comfortable position, if you felt you'd been turned comfortably, and so on and so forth. That was the first static part, and for dynamics, of course, we'd been in the pool, did the same kind of theory prep as we would have done for statics. How would you react to a situation X? How would you react to situation Y? And then we started with some kind of simple warm-ups. So instead of the standard surface warm-ups, we did the safety kind of warm-up. So like the inverted kind of finning, which you do to minimize the noise you would make on the surface. So if you would go completely flat, it would be kind of noisy, would create a lot of bubbles, which would be tricky also for the safety following up because you can't see so well. Like inverted kind of finning. And from there, we did like speed checks. Of course, you have to be capable, especially if you have to follow someone with a monofin. They can be quite speedy. So we did speed checks, and usually we prefer to be even under the IDA requirements. So the IDA requirements is that you should do 100 meter in like something like 130. That means it would be something like, I think 130 or 140 if I'm not mistaken. But we tried to be like roughly around somewhere in between 40 to 45. So if you like
a 50-meter lap.
Exactly, for a 50-meter lap. So that gives you a rough idea that you can keep up with someone. And once that we felt was in place, we practiced the turns. It's important kind of how you turn and where you turn, that you give the divers enough speed when they reach the wall and turn, that they have enough speed to turn for themselves. At the same time, you want to make sure that you are close enough so that you, in case something should happen, you would be able to act, and you want to kind of turn under the rope. You really want to avoid that any of your diving equipment, especially your fins, would be in the visibility of the diver itself. You don't want to have anything that would be kind of distracting. And once that kind of worked out, we started with the synchronization. So as you kind of seen probably throughout the last days, is that up to a certain extent, the divers, the safety one would always go to the 25-meter mark, and then they would kind of like bounce up to the second one. But of course, after a certain point where you think that things maybe could be a bit more tricky, or you would kind of swim as a pair. So we started like kind of smooth transitioning, and how that would work out in combination with the turns. And yeah, once that was in place, of course, we got to the most important part, which is the rescue itself. So what would be good practices. How would you pick up someone from the surface? How would you make sure that you do it smoothly? How would you make sure that you don't go in any kind of way, any grab kind of beneath the jawline, stuff like this? How would you make sure that the face is the first part of the diver that reaches the surface? How would you make sure that you stabilize? What would be the responsibility of the second kind of safety in terms of helping out with the buoyancy?
Yeah.
And once all these different components had been practiced, then we put everything kind of in everything to the test, the same way we do with static. So then we always had different ones who are basically simulating different scenarios. Everything from an LMC to like a proper blackout, so to say, to really make sure that we would be prepared as much as possible for everything that can or cannot occur.
This comp has been, there's long days. It's probably the longest days we've had in a competition. What challenges does that give to the safety divers? Do you experience any fatigue or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think everyone who we kind of like picked for the safety, where everyone was more or less in good like physical shape. One of the challenges there definitely is that you have to be switched on all the time because you really want to look out for what is happening, what is not happening. So even if you're not on active duty, of course, you're responsible for warm-ups, or you want to make sure that you exchange with someone on time. But in terms of physical, I think that was kind of okay, since we, of course, also scheduled it. We made the safety plan in such a way that not everyone has to dive all the time. And like, the people where you feel are a bit speedier and feeling are a bit more endurance, they would, of course, rather cover the ones which are a bit on the speedier side. So I think it was good. Like I didn't see any safety that needed the safety. So that's, I think that's good.
That's a good sign. How are you feeling today? Are you tired after the 3 days in the third day?
No, I'm good actually.
Good, okay.
I'm just a little bit cold because the weather kind of today is not ideal. I think we got very lucky yesterday. Today is not pleasant, but it's okay. I'm excited to see what's happening today. I'm wishing all the divers, like as always, best of luck, and I'm actually looking forward to dynamics because that means we finally can get moving and we will have some like our bodies warm up a bit. So it's better than static. Statics, you stand around, you kind of cool out quite fast, but with dynamics at least you get some movements in. So that's good. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Rico. Maybe we can talk later. I'm going to make a reel with all the training clips that we've got of you, and maybe some of the narration as well. You can show exactly what it means to be a safety diver in a Singapore comp or any comp, I guess.
Cool.
Cheers.
Later. Bye.
Okay, so right now it's technically Aaron from Canada and myself. I'm obviously not there. I'm behind the commentary booth. I will be competing later. I'm actually feeling a lot better today, so hopefully I can do a slightly better performance. But because of this torrential rain, I was stuck in traffic on the way here. I live on the other side of the island. It meant I couldn't really get here in time, set up the media station, and do my warm-up before my official top. So I'm just going to do the afternoon session at 1:10. I ate a banana this morning. I saw Flo posted a reel yet last night saying that he had a small breakfast, including a banana, before his hold yesterday morning, his 10:41. He thinks that the sugar helps a bit, so I ate a banana as well. Hopefully it works in my favor. Okay, I'm back, and Erin has begun his hold. Wow, it's absolutely bucketing down now. I'm actually super stoked that I didn't decided to DNS this first start, because this does not look nice. I'd be shivering, and the noise on my wetsuit would be distracting. It gets really noisy. Even Flo's put on his goggles while he's coaching. I feel for the safeties who have been standing around, haven't been able to get out into the dry. There's Sinchun there. So Aaron has slowly been improving his times since he got here. He was saying yesterday he's been really sick for 3 or 4 weeks prior to this event, and it was kind of touch and go whether he'd be able to come, and like very fatigued, like unable to really go out and move around much. So he's just been delighted. Like every day he's been increasing his times. He's nowhere near his PBs, but he's been really happy that he's just feeling better. It's 3:30. Just going to try turning on noise cancelling. I can see the rain is maxing out the volume. Is that a bit better? Okay, Pete's rocked up. He's dry. Is Tracy going to do another hole?
No, I think she's pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, so good.
She's waited a long time to get 5 minutes in a competition. So yeah, she's happy with that result. I think she's not going to try again, especially when I told her that only the first one counts for the competition anyway. So if she went longer, it wouldn't count for the competition points. Yeah, I think she's probably just going to leave it there. That's a new kind of strategy for her, just doing a no warm up.
So that was a no warm up 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Seems to be working.
seems to work. Yeah, stronger dive reflex. Did a surface protocol really quickly, and then had that, got it all in before the blood pressure drop that she gets.
Yeah. So she looks really strong. She had a little bit of a samba after she got her surface protocol done.
Yeah,
And with her goggles and her nose clip tied together, she just ripped them off, got the service protocol done, and then there was a couple of seconds and she looked good.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of a
Well, I shouted her to come up because
her
actually
lip was getting quite close to her. Oh yeah, Erin's
I'm
coming
seeing
up.
Aaron coming up now.
See, like he's having huge contractions.
Yeah,
It's
he's
a
had
bit
massive
unusual-
contractions.
bit unusual for him, especially at this point. But I'm sure the rain is not very nice right now.
It's so heavy. It's really loud. It's actually quite hard even to hear your coach coming off the gutters here onto the floor. Yeah, having to shout at each other to be heard. So it's not that relaxing.
Probably not a bad strategy to come up a bit early, get warm, get dry, and maybe have a go on the next one.
Yeah. Do you so you talk about why Florian might not have done so long today? What was your speculation on that?
Well, he's just trying new things. I think that was a no warm up, wasn't it?
He talked about he was going to do one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I didn't notice him warming up, so I think it was an attempt to do a no warm up 11.
Okay.
So, he also only had his nose clip, no goggles.
Yeah.
And I could see he was fidgeting already before 9 minutes. So,
Right.
I suspect that the sensations were probably pretty strong. He came up at 10. Let's see if he saved enough to try another one later. But either way, I know he's happy with his 10:41. It's 6 years since his last PB.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I'll be able to talk to him live on air later on. Find out a bit more.
It's a bit tough up by day 3 as well. You know, like it's on these long competitions. It starts to get quite tiring. Just the process of every day getting ready, getting prepared, going through the process of like getting relaxed, doing your stretches. It's almost a bit boring. It's like hard to
That's
kind
the
of keep that
moment.
focus.
I mean, even at a world championship, you only have to do it 2 days in a row, right?
Yeah,
And then you have a rest day.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean that's a relatively okay hole for Aaron there at 6:18. He's been doing like between 6 and 6:50 for his holds the last couple of days. I spoke to him after his dive yesterday and talking about how ill he'd been recently, and how like anything near 6 he's super happy with. He did say I think he was gonna push today, but maybe he'll try again later. But yeah, it could be just be like the competition's catching up with him. I see he's getting straight on the banana now, trying to get some food in it.
Okay, Pete, I think we're going to wrap up. The computer's getting soaking wet, so I'm going to cover it with plastic bags. We're going to have a little break before the dynamics starts at, what time are they starting? I think it's about 20 minutes. Or maybe not, actually, it might be a bit longer today. I think it's 11:20. But we'll be live again at around 11:10. It's a different link. So go to our website, into-the-unknown.overdrive.app, and you will find the link for the second session. And we'll be live in about 20 minutes. Go make a cup of tea.